What we did was we tried to replicate what a typical parent would do if they were looking for information about infant sleep safety. And so what we did was we actually went on Google and we picked some phrases that we thought that people might use, like infant sleep position, and we put that into the Google search bar and then looked at the websites that came up. And what we found was that a lot of the websites had information that was not reliable. It was not consistent with the American Academy of Pediatrics recommendations, and in some cases it was actually totally opposite of what the recommendations are. This study was very consistent with what we found in our study with magazines. A lot of information that's out there on the internet or in magazines and books and things like that does not reflect the recommendations of the American Academy of Pediatrics. Some of it is because there are a lot of parents who don't like the recommendations and a lot of professionals who don't like the recommendations because either they feel as though it's not what they believe, or it's not what worked for their child, or something like that. And so some of the things that we found were blogs and other kinds of websites where people were chatting about what they had done and what they believed was best for their baby and offering their own opinions. But some of them were also sources that I think that a lot of parents might think are credible sources, and they weren't providing information that was consistent with the AAP recommendations. I think that for parents, you need to understand that not everything on the internet is gospel. You have to check websites for who wrote them, when it was updated, and decide if this is what you think is a reliable source. There are sources that I like to use and that I like to recommend to parents, such as the American Academy of Pediatrics website and some of the websites from the government, like the Back to Sleep website that the NIH has. Sources like that, I think you can be fairly confident that that information is going to be updated on a regular basis and it's going to be reliable. But you do need to check what your sources are before you act upon them.